match, we're going to send it over to our casters, Boop and Katrina, to get us into Busan.
Hello, everyone, and we are already in game, so we'll get through the pleasantries a little bit later, but I am Boop, I am here with Katrina, and we are here on Busan, where the point has just opened up for both of these teams, and it looks like Tishazine is going to try to get back into the backline, but he might be isolated from the team a little bit too much. Hops out just in time. Pardal tried to get there to get the extra healing, but he's going to end up going down. Dagastim is going to get the first kill of this match. The first blood goes to him. Fury, though, looking good to get this first point, Katrina.
Yes, Upgaming definitely did suffer by losing their main tank so quickly in that first fight, and the percentage will be headed over to Fury. We are seeing a mirror matchup right now, and because of that first take, we see that Express does indeed have Lucio's sound barrier available, but there are still so many ultimates almost online with Upgaming. Look at TH7 having that so important Graviton Surge. Knight is only at 70%.
Yep, both of these teams might have 4 and 5 ultimates respectively. The Shinigami's going to go ahead and drop that rally, and the sound barrier from Fury's going to go out as well. And Dagashim's going to get that self-destruct kill. They got the ultimates, they went ahead and used them, but it's going to make them weaker for this next fight. Graviton Surge out as well. They really want to maintain control, Katrina.
Yes, they definitely do, and they are continuing to push. Oh, but is there a back cap coming from Upgaming? Upgaming is able to get some valuable percentage, and right now they're at 5%, still managing to hold that point with the Primal Rage.
Yeah, they actually haven't gone back to the point just yet. Upgaming, they're getting pretty close. They're actually halfway to Fury's percentage, and the rest of Upgaming might be able to get back on the point right now. Both particle barriers for Knight are down. There's going to be no protection coming from him, and at 84 energy, he's going to be that DPS, however. Tishazine's going to feel the victim as well as Pardel of that damage, and they finally are able to retake this point. They're going to give about 30% for free.
Yes, big mistake coming in from Fury. However, you don't need DPS heroes when you have Knight on that Zarya, maintaining such a high charge and is at 94% to that Graviton Surge. There is such a difference in ultimate charges right now on the side of Fury. There's nothing available for Upgaming. What they can hope for in this next push is to try to bait out either that Graviton Surge or maybe even a Transcendence early on.
All right, Knight's going to be looking to get a really big Graviton Surge as they enter the objective. However, Demon's been taken very, very low. The Graviton Surge is out, does get about 5 of them. Will the confirmation kills be there? Yes, they will. Knight's going to get TCC to drop first blood for this fight, and the rest will fall for Upgaming. It's now going to be behind here quite a bit. They're going to need to win this fight because they're in one-fight territory.
Exactly. There's only one fight remaining, most likely, in City Center, but the ultimates are so on side for Upgaming with both support ultimates online. They can be a bit more aggressive, most likely initiate with Pardal's sound barrier. However, Fury also has those very important ultimates on the side of their support, so here comes that Graviton, though.
Oh, TH7 goes and drops that Graviton Surge, gets almost everybody on Fury, but the Transcendence is there. Ryzen's going to be able to save the rest of the team. Shinigami's going to get that kill. Earthshatter is out, does knock Shinigami down. This is the opening that Upgaming has been looking for, but the rest of Upgaming needs to get those kills. Tishazine getting that confirmation sound barrier out for Upgaming, misses Tiago, and he's going to go down because of that. They're going to want that Zenyatta healing, but Pardal's going to get the DMAG, and the confirmation kill comes from Tishazine. Upgaming looking really good on the point right now. All they need to do is clean it up.
Yes, Tishazine is a true leader for Upgaming right now, just charging forward, and that is because he's receiving so much support from his healers on those teams. Edgigus has just been providing Tishazine with so much armor, allowing him to be aggressive, and therefore Tishazine has that Earthshatter available for this next fight. TH7 also has a Graviton Surge, so right now I could see Upgaming taking this to almost 99%. The ultimate economy is so much in their favor, but armor coming in on the side of Fury will make things a bit more difficult.
Oh, the Graviton Surge from TH7. Tishazine is actually going to go down before he's able to Earthshatter, but it's not going to matter as that grab was a big one. 3 kills coming up for Upgaming. They will maintain control, and Katrina, we're really getting close to that 99-99.
We definitely are, and Tishazine didn't even need to use that Earthshatter. HEM has a self-destruct ready, and armor will be available for Upgaming. Right now, things are looking very difficult for Fury. However, they are getting much closer to self-destruct. If there's a great shield bash coming in from Shinigami against Tishazine, that could be a win condition for Fury to retake this point and win this round.
Oh, here we go. The Earthshatter is there. The self-destruct has been launched from Upgaming. Will it get anybody? Yes, it does get Ryzen. There are no supports available for Fury right now. They're at 90%. All they need to do is clean up this fight. They will win this round. They were behind at the beginning, but hey, you got to be ahead at the end, and you're going to win that round. Rally from Shinigami is a desperation rally. Those legs aren't going to be strong enough to get to the point.
No, Brigitte does like to work out. However, she does need to do a little bit more cardio. Right now, it's desperation time for Fury, but the round is pretty much over with Raisin just trying to touch point with Transcendence as the Monk Zenyatta. But right now, with the charge from Tishazine, it's pretty much a close-up round.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for the overtime wick to expire, and that's exactly what we see. Up Gaming, Katrina, you are a future teller. You got to that 99.99. Really great prediction there. What got Up Gaming eventually to win that round?
So ultimately, that first back cap near the beginning of this round, where Fury was around 33% of control of point, Upgaming was able to sneak in and steal valuable percentage and time, which completely shifted the momentum. However, Fury did have some advantages when it came to ultimates. Upgaming just simply waited for Fury to expend all of that ultimate economy, built up, and was very patient with their own tank ultimates, and then just capitalized on the huge difference of ults that they did have later. Now we are headed over to Sanctuary, though. This is the smallest point in the entire game of Overwatch, thanks to that pretty impressive drum. So I'm curious to see right now if the more heavy tank composition of Fury with the Reinhardt will defeat Tishazine's Winston.
All right, which drum circle is going to be the winner as of right now? Fury's looking good. Tishazine's going to go down very, very early, but AJM's going to get demeched as well. Fury is looking at no tanks at Up Gaming right now. They have a huge opening, and they are going to take it. Keith, the Reinhardt player, last season was the only one with professional experience on this team. He is the leader right now. Katrina, how did they take that point?
Well, right there, Keith was able to be so aggressive on that Reinhardt, just moving forward very rapidly. Tishazine was the first to fall on the side of Up Gaming, eliminating the ability for really their tanks to peel for the more vulnerable supports of Tiago and Partle. Right now, Keith is about to have Earth Shatter, with Knight having Graviton Surge, so observe as this ultimate difference will make the difference this next round.
Well, they might have the difference for a very, very long time. Keith did get stunned. The Earth Shatter is down. Didn't get anybody. I didn't see anyone, but Knight's going to get the kill onto Tishazine. AGM is also going to get demag. This is almost an exact replica of how the people fell on Up Gaming last fight. Tank's going down first.
Yes, right now, Fury is being a bit more cautious than the last round, ensuring that they do stay on the point, and they are conserving quite a few ultimates. Raisin will have Transcendence for this next team fight. Tiago already does as well, so it's going to be very important for Fury to be able to bait out that Transcendence for the attackers to get an excellent Graviton Surge.
Yeah, but look at this Up Gaming. They're going to have their ultimates online. Last time TH7 had a Graviton Surge, he pretty much won Busan's first round. The Graviton Surge from that. TH7 is out, but will the kills come? It doesn't look like it. Fury was able to use Rise of Transcendence to get rid of it. Oh, it's self-destruct out. No kills for that. That drum just a little bit too big. And now all the ultimates are. The only one left is Expressive Sound Barrier, but Keith is a down. Edgy is finally getting that kill. Up Gaming has that opening. They actually took the point during that.
Yes, it was almost as if Knight's Graviton Surge allowed Up Gaming to take the point. They were so collected on that giant drum, and right now Up Gaming has an opportunity to once again upset that Fury's high percentage already, with Tishazine having that Earth Shatter and AGM with that self-destruct. Right now, the only tools that Fury truly has is Express's Sound Barrier, which, if used well, can be extremely effective against AGM's self-destruct, as we did see in the last team fight.
Yeah, Keith's Earth Shatter has just come online, so the counter shatter might be there. It's just going to be looking for that shield bash onto Keith to open it up. Earth Shatter is down. It looks like Brigitte is going to be on the ground. Earth Shatter coming from the other way gets nothing, and Tishazine's going to charge away from the fight. Knight's going to take advantage of that, but AGM with that self-destruct kill is going to give this a 6v5 for Up Gaming on the point. And on this map specifically, you really want all six. The other ultimates are here. Ryzen's going to go ahead and drop that Transcendence, and so is Tiago. Rally is out as well for Fury, so the health is there. They gotta get the kills. Up Gaming needs to clean this up, and Fury's not gonna have enough to get it.
I think Dagostim just ate TH7's Graviton Surge there. Such a huge use of defense matrix coming in from Fury. However, they are not able to flip over the point despite that excellent diva play. Let's see what they'll be able to use this next time. Knight now does have that Graviton Surge. That is a game-winning ultimate, but with 59% to 78 in favor of Up Gaming, they are in last fight territory. Fury needs to make some very aggressive decisions, and this is the perfect way to start.
Whoa, Kobe to that Graviton Surge right there. Was able to get through the Sound Barrier 4. Up Gaming gets everybody, so everyone's going to be looking pretty good. Edgicus is going to go ahead and drop that rally as well. Up Gaming's health bars are staying high, but Fury's is not, as Keith and Express are going to go down pretty early on in this fight. This opens up the victory of the round and the map for Up Gaming. You know, people were talking pretty high about them, and we're seeing exactly why. They were behind for both rounds for a time, but they were able to take it back and win this 2-0, Katrina.
Yes, excellent team coordination coming in from Upgaming. Even though some great ultimates were being used on their opponent's side, there was just simply so much coordination, great support ultimate management, which allowed them to ultimately get the 2-0 on Busan.
So if you were going to say a player that maybe really contributed to Upgaming taking those points back and eventually winning Busan outright, going up 1-0 in this matchup, who do you think it would be?
Oh, that's quite difficult. Educus was just so brilliant on that Brigitte. Oftentimes we see the tanks in this meta being very aggressive, but you can't do that without all of that extra armor, all of that support, and the rallying coming in from your Brigitte player. So I'll give him the A+ for this round. But right now, Boop, I'm starting to understand why you love South American Contenders so much. This region is just so aggressive and passionate and intense. And I can feel the energy coming in from these players. I'm excited for this next round.
Well, it's particularly between these two teams, so just a little bit of history. So the Upgaming used to be Revolts, and this is pretty much the same roster that we're seeing right now. Edugus came in on week 3. They were 0-8, 0-2, but when Edugus comes in, they ended up sweeping the rest of the regular season and making the semifinals in the playoffs. Fury was Breakdown Gaming. There's three members of Breakdown Gaming, Ryzen as well, so that makes it 4 on this team still. But last season, they actually entered Open Division for the Blizzard Bucks, and they made it all the way to playoffs, challenging Isurus in the quarterfinals in one of the best games I've ever seen. So one thing I want to do is I want to make these two rivals, because last time that they faced each other, it was actually a 5-game set, Katrina.
I would not be surprised if we do see that again today, as even though, yes, Upgaming did indeed have that 2-0 on Busan, Fury was right, like just breathing down their necks right there, especially with Knight on that Zarya. So much ultimate charge so quickly. I think right now it's going to be the battle of the off tanks, unless we do see some more DPS play that we are quite familiar with Edugus shining on. So I'm curious to see the off tank play for this entire matchup.
Well, let's talk about that just a little bit. AGM, a little bit more aggressive, in your face. Dagerstem definitely, at least last year, was more of a peeling diva. As of right now, do you think that peeling kind of diva is what this team needs, or do you want to see him get a little, more aggressive? He did eat that grab.
Yes, that was an absolutely exciting moment for me as a diva main, especially. I do like the aggression in my divas, I would have to say, especially if we do go into further rounds, see some of the Pharah-friendlier maps. I think that right there, being able to get right in the faces of the DPS players on the other team, that can be a huge benefit for Fury going into potentially a Numbani or other Eichenwald. You might even see a great Pharah on point A. So I'm not too upset to see the bit of aggression coming in from Fury.
All right, let's see if we can find it on Dagerstem on Hollywood. So we're going to be on Hollywood next. So maybe some Pharah, maybe definitely some Reinhardt. What do you think we're going to see here?
Oh, I think we're going to see some Doomfist and Sombra here. Hopefully, right now I feel like the anti-triple tank, triple support GOATS meta is super powerful. And if you have that disruption factor coming in with your Doomfist, Sombra, and ideally even a Hammond, that can prove for a very exciting map. There's so much verticality on Hollywood, especially as you go into the further points, going through all of the film sets, being on top of the roof. I mean, it's just a Wrecking Ball's playground, Boop. What are you hoping to see?
Well, I'm actually hoping to see some Upgaming drop that Doombro combination as well. And the reason for that is we talked about Edugus and how good he is at Doomfist. But what we didn't talk about was that TH7 was one of the first to adopt that Sombra last season in South America. And he did a great job. I think we actually said the words, he's the world championships at hide and seek. He's the winner, right? Like, he was able to get a ton of information for the team. And Atisha Zian on the Hammond was able to take advantage of the information they have. As of right now, Upgaming not going to be showing that so far. I mean, they did pretty well on this GOATS comp last game.
Yes, definitely. And as we do head over to Hollywood, oh, what a wonderful map. Right now, as we are looking for Upgaming to be taking that first defense, it does seem like they will be running the very traditional triple tank, triple support GOATS composition, but they will be having Tiago on that Zenyatta. I really do love that pick. I'm not a huge fan of Moira on triple tank, triple support, because she seems to be quite, I suppose, vanilla. You do get that huge burst of healing, but with Tiago on the Zen, that Discord orb is going to be so important, especially if Knight stays on the Doomfist, as he is teasing right now. right now also so much shield breaking potential on the side of Upgaming. So I'm curious to see right now how Keith on the Winston will be able to deal with all of that damage coming in from Tiago as they do start to fly in.
Keith is going to go right back into spawn and switch that character. Keith has always been a question mark. He's either absolutely controlling the game or is going to be a little bit more quiet. Let's see what Keith shows up here. You know, he was a little quiet on that last round on Busan, but they're going to see each other for the first time. The Reinhardts are going to make that aggressive eye contact. I'm actually really excited to see Tiago frag out because he definitely has the potential to. Oh, look at these ult charges though. Tisha Seed and Keith both halfway there. Knight more than halfway there on that Graviton Surge. Once Fury has that Graviton Surge, that's going to be exactly when they're going to pull the trigger, but right now Upgaming is pushing him back.
TH7 already at 100 charge on that Zarya. That is absolutely terrifying for an opposing diva to see. Great bubble placement coming in right now. But right now, Fury is still in the middle of that fight, and they have a Graviton Surge available for Knight. Keith is getting very close to an Earth Shatter of his own. So the ultimate economy is on the side of Fury.
Oh, the sneaky Knight tiptoed through that flanking path, got the Graviton Surge. Keith is going to get those confirmed kills. They definitely deserve that. I love the path they took. He had no idea the Graviton Surge was coming.
Oh, that was absolutely textbook coming in from Knight. Definitely been one of my MVPs for Fury so far. Let's take another look at that. Just the sneakiness factor there. Taking out the supports early, negating Edgicus and Pardo on the support. Oh, I wish I could do that.
Beautiful.
I really wish.
That was absolutely gorgeous, Katrina. And now that we're entering Streets phase, let's take a look at those ultimates. 3 for Fury, 2 for Upgaming. They're actually kind of far from all of the other ones as well. Fury going to be looking good for this first push. They're going to see each other on Streets phase for the first time. Edgicus is taking up shop in the front. Earthshatter is down. It looks like Edgicus is going to be the only one that can become victim of that. And the pin is going on Winston, which is actually best case scenario for Upgaming. You should see it's getting taken very, very low, but the healing is there. The Graviton Surge wasn't quite enough, though, to get those kills. Fury's still looking pretty healthy. AGM has that self-destruct. He's going to go ahead and drop it. Is it going to get any kills? Yes, it does, as Ryzen is going to be the first one to go down for Fury here on Streets phase, and it's a 5v6, a 6v4 onto the point. Excuse me, Express is going to be taken very low. Upgaming's going to get this defense.
And that's just Edgicus' signal to go and devastate on this Brigitte right now. So many maces, so many faces. Not enough time for Fury right now, but Express will have a sound barrier, which will make life a bit easier when you are dealing with Reinhardt's favorite Squire. And Knight, once again, will he be able to be sneaky again with that Graviton Surge? That remains to be seen. Upgaming, though, will also have a variety of support ultimates for this next team fight, so watch for some aggression coming in from these tanks.
All right, here we go. Knight's going to drop that Graviton Surge soon, I am sure. He's actually just going to be waiting for the right moment. Might not even need it. Sound barrier is there, saves the rest of Upgaming. AGM's going to be D-mech, though. AGM's got to get back into that mech. No! Dagashim with the triple kill on that self-destruct is going to make sure that Fury is going to continue on this payload.
That is beautiful ultimate combination coming in from Fury. Tishazine has switched over to the Winston, which, although I do like for singling out that backline, I am a bit concerned if that they will not be able to shield as much of the damage that Ryzen and Knight are putting in right now. But TH7 has a Graviton Surge available almost right now, so I will not be shocked if this payload is stopped one more time before the end if they are able to follow up on damage.
Oh, Keith has an Earth Shatter. Oh, and it gets blocked. I believe no one falls on the ground. T7's going to drop that Graviton Surge. Gets almost the whole team in there. Will they get the kills? They got to get rid of that HP. Tishazine is down, so a lot of the hammer damage wasn't there. If he was there, that might have been a different story for Upgaming, as they're now going down. Now it's a choice of Upgaming investing their ultimates if they would like. They are not choosing not to. They're going to keep the 2 that they have. Fury will be taking the second point eventually.
Yes, and right now we are still seeing that mirror matchup. I'm kind of hoping for Upgaming to switch things up, particularly on the support side. Ryzen has been phenomenal with his transcendences, and Ana being thrown into the mix against Fury might be the recipe for success. However, both teams are quite confident in their composition still, and Edgicus will provide extra armor to Upgaming, ideally giving them a bit more staying power on the point, as Dagostim is about to have another self-destruct.
Well, AGM has 2, and you said it yourself. This off-take matchup is one that we should be looking at, and it's exactly right. Self-destruct is going to come from Fury first. AGM and Tiago are going to go down. AGM somehow is able to get through it with the mech. Tiago's going to go down, however. Upgaming looking pretty weak here on the end of Hollywood. The Transcendence will be popped from Fury just to make sure they're able to clean up this fight, but that makes them weaker for the next one, Katrina.
Yes, and Pardo was able to stall on the payload for quite some time. However, that extra speed boost and healing from Lucio will be unavailable on the point for the side of Upgaming for quite a bit. However, Tishazine and AGM do have that Earthshatter self-destruct combination that we just see on Fury.
Oh, I believe the Earthshatter was canceled from Tisha Zine, but it doesn't seem to matter. It's Hardal, the Lucio player, is going to get deep, and no more shielding for you. No tanks available for Fury, and for the first time since point A, Upgaming's looking like they're going to put up a defense.
Yes, they have finally won a team fight coming in here. This is definitely important for their morale as South American contenders, as you have told me, is such an emotional region right here. Right now, TH7 has a Graviton Surge available. There's just so many ultimates on the side of Upgaming. It's going to be difficult for Fury to make it through.
All right, the Graviton Surge is out from TH7. I like the placement. Was able to get on both sides of the wall. The self-destruct is there, getting 1.5 kills. Again, the tanks go down. This was happening to Upgaming last game on Busan. It's happening to Fury right now. So you can't walk in with those tanks. You're not going to walk in at all.
Exactly, and there is still 2 minutes remaining. There is enough time for Fury to return to the payload with an ultimate advantage. However, just having Tiago and Pardo being able to keep the sound barrier and Transcendence for so long has allowed Upgaming to still be balancing out these ultimates.
All right, Edgicus has that sound barrier. Could be a little bit more aggressive to get that Inspire healing on the rest of Upgaming. AGM's gonna get DMAC first. Tisha Zine once again going down, and they just traded places this time. Upgaming now without their tank. Tiago smartly holding on to that Transcendence, maybe giving him a chance to get back onto the payload at the end. Hardal needs to die here, or else he's not gonna be available for the next fight. Fury, though, with 4 ultimates.
Yes, and right now there is a Graviton Surge coming in. The Transcendence comes in simply to save Knight. Totally fair play, but he wastes that Earthshatter right now. Right now, there's a self-destruct coming in from Daggerston. Will it be effective?
Oh, it looks like it will. The sound barrier for Fury's gonna just knock this thing out of the park. Cherry on top for Fury. They will be finishing Hollywood with an all-right time bank, but Upgaming, in the end, made it a little interesting. The one thing is for sure, Fury was able to take those ultimates away from Upgaming there at the end.
Exactly, and right now, I just am always watching Knight in the kill feed so far. It is going to be vital for Upgaming to come up with an answer against this very dominant Zarya. Also, I'm still quite curious as to why Upgaming is sticking with this Zenyatta, as they were, to be quite frank, being pushed around Hollywood just like that payload for most of that time. So I'm curious to see some more counter swaps, maybe even having Edgicus, although he has been doing quite well on the Brigitte, swapping over to the Doomfist that he is so well known for.
Yeah, and so the next thing that we need to see here is exactly that Transcendence meta that we're seeing, right? Tiago and Ryzen are both on those Zenyatas, but I think one of them has been a little bit better on those Trances.
Yes, I completely agree. I feel like Ryzen has had a Transcendence for almost every single Graviton Surge that has been thrown at him. Possibly it's because TH7 has not been able to charge that ultimate as quickly as Knight. However, the support ultimates on the side of Fury have been timed out quite perfectly. There's a lot of great strategy coming from the side of Fury. I'm curious to see their setup for the defense up here on the upper level of the Babylon Hotel. It's a bit cheeky, it's a bit sneaky right here. But right now, Upgaming does not have a lot of verticality to directly confront this defense coming in from Fury. They are once again going with that triple tank, triple support GOATS composition. It's a mirror matchup once more, but that positioning is definitely going to be on the side of Fury. As one of my favorite movies say, they have the high ground. Don't try it.
They have no idea. Upgaming has no idea. Oh, Pardell might actually spot them out. And look at oh, he's just going to get absolutely blasted probably. Tisha Zine actually is going to get the first kill. Charge kill onto Express is actually 5v5. This could not be going worse for Fury right now. When you put a defense up that close, you have to win it, or else you're just going to get the point taken away from you. But maybe there's enough time and space for them to have to walk up where Upgaming or Fury might be able to come back onto the point.
I'm not quite sure, honestly. I feel that Upgaming will be at least able to take 2 ticks, maybe even 3 right now. Very aggressive defensive setup from Fury. They will still have an opportunity to touch point. However, with TH7 going to have such high charge, it looks like they're just going to give Upgaming that first pick. And HEM still does not have that mech yet. Right now, though, Fury does not have a lot of ultimate charge because they were wiped so quickly.
You know, I like the Moxie, though, Katrina. At least they tried it.
Yes.
Right now they know, and it might work next time. But the surprise flank wasn't there. But I like the Chutzpah. I like the Moxie. But now we're going to be seeing this first fight onto a Streets phase. And no ultimates on either side. TH7 is pretty close to get taken down very, very low, but the healing is there as well. The rest of Fury on average is actually much lower than Up Gaming, as Tiago is going to get a double kill. And those happen at the same time. I would like to think that was one right-click volley.
I would have to say, Tishazine's, though, that Earth Shatter was very impressive. Being able to start out that chain of kills coming in from TH7, especially having almost full charge on that Zarya. Knight, though, also has a Graviton Surge going into this next round. So we're going to have the battle of the Zaryas here. Watch for Dagostim and AGM ready to use their their defense matrix. Right now, the rally does come in, though, for Edgicus providing that early extra armor.
Oh, TH7 is going to do it against the hay bales. Get Keith up there. Particle Barrier is going to save him. Both self-destructs will be coming out. Rallies as well. Self-destruct from Dagostim is going to be a lot better than one from Up Gaming. Getting Pardal, Ryzen, and Tiago are both going to use their Transcendences. So both had 5 ults. Now both have none. Up Gaming, though, down a person, but this could be going worse for them right now. Fury having a hard time cleaning this thing up. TCZ does have that Earth Shatter, and he's going to go ahead and drop it and get every single member from Fury. That is the dream come true for a Reinhardt player, Katrina.
Oh my gosh, as a Reinhardt player myself, oh my goodness, that was one of the best Earth Shatters I have seen in a long time. It reminds me of when I was playing against you in Broadcast Pugs and made your day a little bit worse. But as we move forward, Tishazine has been so dominant, but here comes the excellent bubble placement from TH7, protecting Tishazine, allowing him to use that hammer so aggressively right now, and still maintaining that Graviton Surge.
Oh, we do have a pause, but I think we might need it at this point. You know, like after that Earth Shatter. And one thing to point out, one thing to point out from Up Gaming is they used all their ultimates, but look at them. Somehow they were able to lap Fury and get 3 ultimates online. 4.
Yes, absolutely. And right now, because Tishazine is being enabled, he's already at 60% to another Earth Shatter. Let's just talk about that Earth Shatter for a quick second. Did that get, I think that got all 6 members of Fury just at that small end turn of the payload there, Boop.
Yeah, I mean, everyone just wanted to take a group nap. You know, sometimes you just get really tired and you're all friends. You want to all you throw all the pellets out, you make your fort, and then you lay down just like Fury did after that Earth Shatter.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the less dark way to interpret what just happened on Hollywood. So maybe in terms of a group nap, TH7 is a bit refreshed. He's ready to go. He has that Graviton Surge available. But right now, as we do go into this last stage of Hollywood, this is such a beneficial part of the map for triple tank, triple support on both sides, with both of them running those Reinhardts. So we won't see a lot of verticality going on. I'm just curious to see if there will be, once again, any more swaps, as Fury on the defense is now getting their turn being pushed along throughout the map. Both of these teams seem to be doing much better on the offensive portion of Hollywood.
Yeah, and so, I mean, they have 5 minutes. That's faster than Fury. And Fury pretty much walked through here on their first push. But they have a minute left on the time bank. Up Gaming looking very, very good. And again, they will maintain this ultimate advantage, at least for this fight. But Katrina, look at this. Keith is at his Earth Shatter, and I'm sure he is itching to get a 6-man one as well.
Definitely. The Reinhardt mind games are one of my favorite parts of Overwatch. They're so important, not only for the confidence of your entire team, but your Reinhardt is the backbone of every attack and defense when you are running this triple tank, triple support composition. So not only if Keith is able to get a phenomenal Earth Shatter, will that raise the momentum, raise the spirits of Team Fury, it could also be a major stall on the side of Up Gaming. As the pause is finally done, we are back, and it looks like TH7 is ready for his own sneaky Graviton Surge, as he is starting to really look at this defense.
Oh, that could have been even bigger, but the reaction from Fury was there. Keith getting taken low right before he's able to use that Earth Shatter. Keeps it in, but, took a page out of Knight's book. This one was from the high ground this time. Very, very fancy, but Up Gaming's going to win that fight.
Yes, and there's only going to be an opportunity for Fury to touch right now, as the tanks are going to start to get quite aggressive. TH7 getting right next to... Oh, but the Earth Shatter is blocked!
Oh, the Earth Shatter is blocked. That's the opposite of what happened earlier. However, Tiago's going to drop that Transcendence to keep the rest of Up Gaming alive. Fury's going to have that extra armor, though. Edging not very close. Both teams do not have ultimates, but Dagostim and Knight will be very close. Up Gaming doing the smart thing right now. It's okay to cede that space sometimes, Katrina.
Yes, I completely agree. And right now, there's still 4 minutes online for Upgaming. They have an opportunity to put in a few dry pushes, but it looks like they're just going to go straight forward with this Graviton Surge coming out on both sides.
Oh, but the self-destruct from Dagsham's gonna get 2 more. I believe that's about 6 or 7 kills this map for those self-destructs. We propped him up at the beginning of this, and you're seeing why. Dagsham got a little bit more aggressive and got those self-destruct kills.
These divas have been so phenomenal this entire game, and that's largely thanks to their accompanying Zaryas. TH7 and Knight both have been able to whittle down the shields of the enemy Reinhardt so well with their high charge. I haven't seen these highly charged Zaryas in quite some time right now. But right now, here comes Upgaming with another attack. It looks like TJ is ready for blood. He's being so aggressive.
Well, he's going to try to get that Earthshatter. Earthshatter, though, coming from Fury, and he's going to get 5 members. Goes ahead and pins TJ, so no more ult charge for you, my friends. Upgaming losing another fight, but one thing is for sure, eventually they will have those ultimates online.
Yes, but Keith definitely got his revenge there. That was once again another textbook Earthshatter. Got at least 5 members of the team. I believe AGM was the only one who did not fall victim to that amazing play coming in. But AGM does have a self-destruct available. There is a little bit of an ultimate advantage on the side of Upgaming as armor is provided for both sides.
Yep, making this an even fight, so they got to chew through that armor and the rest of that HP on both sides. CH7 close by Graviton. AGM has that self-destruct, but that Soundberry tells me Upgaming is going to try to take this away from them. Knight with that Graviton Surge is going to keep the shields right next to him. No shielding available for the rest of Upgaming, but everyone's at full health. Edgigus is going to get the first kill onto Knight. First blood for him. Pardell taken pretty low, but amping it up, getting that healing back online. Tiago getting that kill. Earthshatter knocking 3 down. Are they going to get any kills from it? Yes, they will. Dagsham once again comboing with that Earthshatter, getting 2. That was looking bad for Fury, but they brought it back.
Yes, that was just such a good read on the side of Keith, but right now the payload is still moving on the side of Upgaming.
Yeah, Dagsham's going to get DMAX. Express and Knight are going to be the only ones keeping them alive on this payload right now, and the stagger is real. The timing of these kills from Upgaming is perfect for them to try to end up with this map and complete it. 1 minute and 42 seconds, still a little bit more than Fury. Another Earthshatter coming down. Some people are laying down, some people aren't going to come back this time. Upgaming still looking quite good with those kills. They will finish this off. They just have to finish off Shinigami to finish Hollywood, but the stall is real. Now we are there. It is even going here on Hollywood. What a great second map so far, Katrina.
Excellent. Both of these teams were so effective on their offenses until around the 3rd round where the defense really started to set in. I'd just like to highlight once again that last Earthshatter coming in from Keith. Shazine made a little bit of an error, overcharged, missed a charge. I can never judge anyone for that. But right then, Keith was able to see that Reinhardt shield completely unavailable for the rest of the team. Got at least 4 members during that charge. Well played, very classic Reinhardt mind games coming in from Keith and Shazine. Now with Fury defending first right now, as we are going to see their composition. Yes, they are going to try with the tried and true. Oh, excuse me, it will be Upgaming on the defense, but the composition is exactly the same. We are having that triple tank, triple support GOATS composition with Tiago on that Zenyatta. Will they try to be a bit sneaky like Fury was? I don't think so. I don't think that worked out well enough. What do you think, Boop?
Well, I think after what we saw, I don't think any other team will probably try that, at least today. Because, I mean, they got wrecked, right? And you don't want to repeat that. The definition of insanity, we say this all the time as casters, is trying to doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. The best way to avoid that is just not try again sometimes. And I think that is exactly what this is. And now that the gates are opening, Katrina, we are seeing that mirror matchup. And what I love about this is really a test of skill for both of these teams.
Yes, you usually see which team is mechanically a little bit better when you do have these mirror matchups. However, I'm going to be looking at how quickly these Zaryas are able to charge Graviton Surges. It typically takes a little over than 1.5 minutes for you to gain that ultimate. So if Knight or a TH7 is able to charge that in time, that's a game winner there.
Man, that tracking from Knight, that accuracy taking out his counterpart TH7. This is looking really good for Upgaming right now, as TJ has come back with a vengeance, getting that DMAC, and that is huge. However, AGM's going to get DMAC'd as well. Edgigus very, very close to dying a lot of times during that, but it looks like they're starting to weaken up, and Fury's spawn advantage will come into play here in just a second. And a Graviton Surge coming from Knight, some good Zarya play from both sides. Graviton Surge seems to be coming off on a cooldown. Transcendence from Fury as well. They're really going for this fight. At 13 seconds left, they only have this opportunity, but the problem is here, the rest of Gaming is all back. They have made it back from spawn, and Edgigus will have that rally. Earth Shatter from Keith. Oh, the AGM D-Max is going to be huge for them. I did not see how many got on the Earth Shatter, but it's preventing them from coming through that choke. The pin is there, the particle barrier as well. Sound barrier coming from both sides, but only hitting 3 people of the Gaming. TH7's looking like he's got to get that Graviton Surge to try to get this defense. Dagonship has a scary self-destruct, and he's going to go ahead and launch it. Will it get anybody? No, everyone was prepared for that one. AGM has one of his own. However, TCZ and Tiago are going to go down. The Graviton Surge getting Edgigus means that Fury, after this long fight, which feels like it took forever here, is going to finally end with Fury getting this first point.
I know I keep mentioning him, but I cannot stop singing Knight's praise. He was able to get 2 Graviton Surges in that fight. It was practically a single fight that entire 2 minutes, whereas TH7 is only about to get his very first Graviton Surge of this entire round. Now, this is overtime right now, and this entire team of Fury cannot leave the point. Otherwise, that wick will go down. So right now, all of Upgaming needs to do is get a great Graviton Surge, put Fury off of the payload for enough time, and they will win. But right now, huge victory for Fury, simply getting that first point.
Yeah, now it's up to Upgaming on when they want to actually engage. Graviton Surge is there. Self-destruct will follow. Will the shields be there? Oh, the particle barriers were not enough. AGM is going to take down Express. They're down 2 players. It's a 6v4 onto the payload right now. Transcendence coming out from Tiago is going to keep Upgaming alive. Rally's going to make them even harder to kill. This is not looking good for Fury so far. TH7 taking down Ryzen. This is where the payload will stop for Fury, but hey, they got the point A, and that's a steal for them.
Yes, absolutely. With only 1 minute and 8 seconds on the time bank, they are still pushing towards that payload. However, that sound barrier will just signal the death for Keith. Upgaming is able to defend, but however, they have their work cut out for them. They only have about 1.5 minutes on that time bank to take all 3 ticks of point A. This is definitely not a given, and they have their work cut out for them for this next round.
But the last time they walked in here, they just walked in. Fury had that funny little defense, and that proved to be pretty a poor decision. I know we keep talking about it, but it was interesting. Again, I like the Moxie and glad they went for it, but hopefully they learned a lesson. Maybe next week they'll try it again, and it'll work. I'm excited to see what they can bring. However, Fury is looking good right now, actually. If they don't let Upgaming walk in, they have a huge advantage, as Upgaming only has maybe 1.5 fights with 1 minute and 27 seconds left.
Yes, and right now, as our camera does look at this Hollywood Walk of Fame, right now we're about to see if Fury or Upgaming will join that list of stars. But if we have learned anything so far this matchup, it is the off-tanks who deserve to have a star of their own. And they have just been shining so hard. We do talk a lot about Tishazine on his Reinhardt being able to be so aggressive, but with every charge, there's an accompanying bubble from TH7. There's just great enabling of their main tank on the side of Upgaming especially. We're seeing some more individual standout performances on the side of Fury, which has been in their benefit. We do see Knight standing out quite a bit. We see Ryzen. Oh, and we do have another quite cheeky defense coming up with the D.Va being able to get some scouting information for Team Fury.
Got a slight ultimate charge advantage with those micro missiles as well. Sometimes crazy things happen, but not this time. Edgigus getting taken down halfway thanks to a fire strike from Fury. And Keith is looking at that ultimate charge, and that's why you see it. Edgigus is looking for that shield bash. Who are you going to target? Tishazine already at 30% on that Earth Shatter. Keith is way further on. Keith is going to get that kill. So right now, this is great for Upgaming, actually. Fury was a little too clean on this fight, so they're going to give Upgaming a full other push.
Yes, right now, Fury is starting to stagger, starting to try to get those final kills on the supports. However, there is enough time for Upgaming, as you said, to regroup and charge the point for one last push. But before we get into that, of course, we have to pause for a little bit, just get the anticipation going a bit. But Keith does have that Earth Shatter available, whereas there is only a Transcendence online for Upgaming for this next push so far.
It's all about the drama, am I right? So he has that Earthshatter, Knight has a Graviton Surge. He seems to always have it. Upgaming's got to be expecting this. AGM could potentially eat it out, and I think that's what happened. TH7 was AGM ate that Graviton Surge, and the sound barrier from Upgaming is there as well. Shinigami being down means that AoE healing on that Inspire won't be there. Ryzen was able to get to that Transcendence. Will that be enough to keep them alive here on the point? The Earthshatter this time coming from Tisha Zine is going to help Daggerstone get D-Mech. Ryzen very, very low. Express very, very low. They will be taking this point, Katrina, but will they reach the yellow box of victory?
Right now, they do have an opportunity. They have some ultimates that are close to being online, and I am very excited to announce that Edgigus, most likely in a way to get to the point, he has switched over to his very famous Doomfist. So I'm hoping to see, oh no, he's going back to the Brigitte. I got excited there, but Shinigami will have the armor online for Fury, and right now, I'm not sure if TH7 will be able to break through all of that, even though he is at 91% for Zarya's charge.
Yeah, Tiago is very close to that Transcendence. Shinigami's going to go ahead and drop that rally. So is, and then the Self-Destruct will be out, not getting anybody. AGM taking pretty low. He needs to use that Self-Destruct and get a couple kills from it. He's going to go ahead and drop that Self-Destruct. Will it get anybody? It will not. Sound Barrier from Fury is going to try to keep them all up, but Knight is below half health. The Graviton Surge was thrown out before he was able to be taken down. Pardell's going to get Keith, so they are down a member. Upgaming looking good right now. 65 Daggerstone very, very close to getting D-Mac. Knight very close to getting taken down. Graviton Surge from TH7 is going to seal the deal here for Upgaming. They came into this with an ultimate disadvantage, but they're going to come out of it with a victory. Upgaming going up 2-0 on Fury.
Yes, Upgaming now does have quite the advantage going into the halftime. However, these two teams have been neck and neck, especially on Hollywood. They have been playing such a similar style, both very aggressive, relying on their off tanks, sticking with that triple-triple composition. So I'm curious to see right now if Fury will be able to turn the tides in their favor. I would not still be shocked if we do see a map 5.
Well, Katrina, I know some people that might have an idea of how they might turn these
do you?
tides. Yeah,
Really?
I think they're on a desk. I think one is
Whoa.
fruit related. Yeah,
Is it-
I
is
think
it a
it's Lemon
virtual
and
desk?
the boys on the desk. Yeah, like the Broadcast.gg
Oh my
desk.
gosh.
Lemon, why don't you take it away?
I have a lot of ideas. I wouldn't say all of them are great, but thank you, Boop, for throwing it over to us. Welcome to the halftime Broadcast.gg desk. I'm Lemon Kiwi and Paul and Frito by my side. It's 2-0 for Upgaming going into the half, and this has been quite entertaining. Yes, it's been a goats fest. We love our goats. We love our Zen goats. But it's been, I feel like, pretty back and forth. And I'll start with you, Frito. Starting on Busan, Upgaming actually lost the first fight of downtown Busan. How were they able to just take control of the control map doing so?
Well, really, I think on both maps, on Busan and also the start of Hollywood, it's starting off really slow. But on both rounds of Busan, they did a really good job of forcing their way onto the objective. They either did this with Winston Primal Rages, they're stealing the point out from under their enemy multiple times, and that's making for some really scary objective-focused play. And I think they were able to even flex that right in that last team fight that we just saw, where they placed their resources in spots that forces the enemy to give ground that they don't want to be giving, basically. I think right there at Hollywood, you throw that Diva Bomb straight down the center, well, they got to back up. Then all of a sudden, you can push up with your team. We saw that on the first round of Busan, where they just put too many ults on point and zoned them off, able to steal the point right from under. On the next round, of course, there was a point where they stole the cap without a frag on either side. So they toss the Graviton off the point to pull them off. And yes, the support ults keep them alive, but again, they're able to steal the objective. So I think really focusing their ultimate usage in order to get space that they want is really dominating some of these fights and controlling the objective better than I think a lot of 3-3 teams that I've seen. I've watched a lot of GOATs in the last like 6 months or something. This is really impressive stuff.
Yeah, and I think, especially when it came to Busan, it was a little bit on Fury too. They weren't quite playing as aggressive as they needed to, especially in the one fight on Sanctuary you're referring to. They allowed them to get a lot of position before that Grav sort of halted them off of the point, and by the time they realized what was going on, it was a little too late. But I think they did a much better job coming back on Hollywood when it came to that.
True, and the problem is with that, I think the team that wants to play more defensive doesn't want to get in those ult fight situations that 3-3 comes up against. And if you're the team that can clutch out these ultimates better, you start to win. I think that's what Upgaming has shown so far.
I'd agree with that.
It's been so fun to watch GOATs because you think it's never about the individual mistake. It's like when you talk about the two Reinhardts, the Zarya bubble needs to be there, the Brigitte needs to peel. It's a team effort. So it's hard to point out who's really messing up a lot. But Paulie, we're talking about the difference between Keith and T-Shazine, where one does more mistakes than the other, but one team is more prepared to make up for those mistakes.
Yeah, and it's Up Gaming who are giving T-Shazine just a little bit more of that support that's enabling him to survive a bit longer and protect them, right? It's a very much give and take game when it comes to your Reinhardt, right? You help him live, he helps you live, and that's really giving Up Game just that smidge of advantage we saw coming through on Hollywood. Pretty much every fight on Hollywood, if your Reinhardt was the one to die second, you won that fight. Either because of a shatter he had or a block that he got. These teams are living and dying by their Reinhardt plays right now.
And Frito, we were talking about the Zarya is another thing we should compare apples to apples. We already talked about Keith and T-Shazine and their differences in aggression and mistake making and peeling of the both teams. But now the story is between Knight and
TH7.
Yeah, TH7, which TH7 known for his McCree, known for his hit scan, forced to play Zarya, which is not something I believe we've ever seen from him last season. And Knight, a relatively unknown player coming to this, that was a question mark we were posing. What role or what impact can he make for Fury? And what did you think about TH7 and Knight in comparison?
Honestly, they're both popping off. And in 3-3, you get a lot of grabs, okay? You're going to charge a lot of them. But the thing that impressed me with both of them is that they're willing to go for these big play grabs, going off on flanks, either hiding on high ground or just flanking around on, I think that first point A take, Knight was able to just totally surprise them, catch the entire team, and it's a beautiful thing to see. But they both kept going for that big graviton plays, and launching them across the map even as well. They're not afraid. They're not holding anything back, which is what making this matchup so fun to watch. Both Zarya's really good. I can't tell them apart at the moment, and I think it's more so coming down to, as Paul was saying, which Zarya I think had the bubbles in time to save their Reinhardt going too aggressive, right? In terms of mechanics of launching grabs, getting grabs, and just fragging, they're about equal, but that side, I think I'm going to give it a little bit more to TH7, where T-Shazine has been allowed to stay alive and get clutched out in just a few more situations, giving them both maps.
And I think TH7 felt averagely he was lower energy than Knight. Maybe Knight playing more aggressive, kind of playing that frontline role along with Keith. So when Keith would be acting as bait, like you would have Knight come in self-bubbling, and you saw the focus fire from Fury, having Knight leading the charge, placing the discourse not on the Reinhardt, but they were placing it on the divas and the off tanks of the Zarya. So this was an interesting approach from Fury. What do you think, Paul?
I think an approach is mostly well warranted. I certainly think, considering how good Keith has been at getting that charge and getting those grabs on this Zarya, it's certainly worthwhile to invest in enabling Knight. How good Knight has been on this Zarya, it's worthwhile to try and enable him, right? And I think it's honestly a good sign for Fury, right? We came into this, really the only question mark we had about Fury's gameplay was, who's this Knight guy? What's he gonna do for this roster? And his Zarya has been phenomenal for like the caliber we usually see coming out of South America, right? We see good Zaryas in this region, and Knight has still, like, to me, he's the best Zarya I've seen yet this season. I feel like if you're going to try and enable your Zarya to pop off like that, you need to commit to it a little more heavily, right? I feel like if Fury are losing out because of the Reinhardt battle, then they either need to reallocate and say, all right, screw it, we're just going to win the Reinhardt battle. Or they need to say, we're going to invest in what we already know is good. We're going to give Knight all the room he needs to just demolish the enemy team. And I feel like they're kind of teetering back and forth right now. And if they can pick one and stick with it, they actually have a decent shot of coming back and picking up at least a couple maps.
So it's kind of disagree with some of these points. I think we got to ask ourselves, though, are we in a Zari carry meta or a Rein carry meta? And I think that answer is pretty obvious, and it's kind of goes to the leading team. That's kind of the problem, right? If you play for Zarya charge, yes, you are getting more resource and you are getting more value, perhaps more grabs, more damage, but as you said in earlier points, the team with the dead Rhine is losing the team fight more times than not. So holding on to those bubbles, I think, is the better way to go. It feels harder because you're doing less damage, but you're more durable up against stuns, up against the shatter coming up, the grabs, follow-up. The biggest follow-up you see is Diva Bombs having those bubbles ready. I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about with these teams, the matchups. We don't have limited time, but the beats and the bubbles in order to protect are very key in these big ult fights. So just having the grab isn't good enough. It's about protecting the follow-up, basically. You're going to get grabbed one way or the other unless you eat it.
Right, and that's where... Sorry, I'm gonna have one more review to this. That's where I think if they want to invest in the Knight Zarya play, where they have to reallocate and give Keith a bit more resources, right? Because we're seeing those resources split between the two, and we're
or
seeing
he plays more reserved.
Yeah,
or he's got to pull it back a little bit.
But we've also seen him pull it back on Bustan, and that was not a great look for the team, right? So I think they need to keep that aggression that they had, and they just need to allocate more resources to Keith keeping Knight alive and Keith staying alive himself. Because if Keith and Knight are both alive in a team fight, they win the team fight, right? If Keith goes down and Knight is popping off, it's not working, right? And that's just a different way to enable your Zarya.
I think another point we should consider is what, besides GOATs, what can these teams bring to the table? Because Up Gaming, before the season, Edge against TH7, known as one of the best Sombra and Doomfist, they have cards in their hand that they can bring to counter GOATs. They're not choosing to. And being up 2-0, you wouldn't fault them for that. They're clearly playing as the better GOATs team, enabling each other. And Edgegus, you know, this was a star 16-year-old player you're talking about, being put on the Brigitte rule. I feel like we haven't seen him shine. And it's like these little micro plays we've seen between Edgegus and Tishazine and Shinigami and Keith. Shinigami and Keith both from Breakdown, and you had Edgegus and Tishazine both from Revolts. You see the synergy between the Brigitte and the Reinhardt.
I would say Edgegus flubbed a few plays. There was, especially on third of Hollywood there was a point where we saw Tishazine go for that shatter. And you guys were playing... Right, and then the stun came like a whole 2 seconds later. But
all right.
Okay, so that's but I think off screen a lot of times we saw Edgegus stunning the Reinhardt in time with a Diva Bomb or other big plays and frags that I think is warranting their confidence in that role. Their teamwork is simply better, and I think if that's the case, you don't feel like you have to play a more skillful team comp, even though we on the desk know that they can run that too, which is part of the reason why I think Fury went to Hollywood, because that high ground, we've seen Doomfist wreck Numbani, and I think they don't want to mess with that at all. And if any map we're going to see some Doomfist play, it might be coming up here on Assault.
They're Hanamura or Horizon. I'm curious to see who's gonna... I mean, Fury had the choice of Hollywood, and they still lost that one. Maybe they'll get an upper hand on the Assault coming up. Would you agree, Paul?
I think it's certainly possible. I mean, Hollywood was definitely a better look for them than Busan was by a significant margin. So map choice might be something where they just weren't prepared for Busan. They were maybe weirded out by it a little bit, but these other maps, these older maps, they're more prepared to play on, right? I'd like to see, I think I would like to see them bring us to a map where they had something in their pocket, right? Like maybe they go to Hanamura and they show us like a weird hold on point A or something, but I don't think it's necessarily likely. I think with how dedicated both teams have been to the GOATs thus far, if either one felt they needed to switch right now, they might have done it on a Hollywood.
Because then oh, sorry.
If I was Fury, I'm not going to Hollywood at all, because we've seen Doomfist again. You give him a hallway to work with, he's going to find some frags. I think they should go to HLC, Horizon Lunar Colony, and keep running the GOATs, because that's what they seem to want to run. They avoided Numbani and just play it better. We've seen that they've shown some promise, and if they identify where their weaknesses are lying in some of these clutch moments and keeping Keith alive in some of these fights, they may be able to edge out, because that Hollywood map, it wasn't convincing by any means. It was very close. So I think they have an opening in the GOATs matchup.
I always think that the dynamics of the map is maybe going to change the compositions we're going to see. We talked about, oh, Hollywood. Okay, we might see snipers, we might see dive, and it's been goats, goats, goats. So whether it's Horizon Lunar Colony or Hanamura, you're going to see goats on point A. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Point B, though, is where we're might going to see these cards or these specialties come out, whether it's upgaming in their Sombra Doomfist or Sombra Genji. But Fury also have Shinigami, who's been known as an excellent Pharah, and that could be a card in either pocket of maybe a pocket Pharah could come out and throw this goats for a loop. Would you agree, Frito?
That I would expect that a bit more on map 4 because we know Route 66 is a map where you can pull that out in order to punish goats. But that's where I'm building a bit more confidence in my upgaming prediction, because I think Up is set up to just be able to play whatever they need on the following 2 maps. So I would look away. Set up. Yes, it's unintentional pun. Well played. I think I'd be a little bit afraid for them. I think their probably best look is to stick on the goats and try to play that a bit better with some more concise teamwork and just working with their communication and playmaking in the mid fight.
So, Paul, what would be your prediction in the coming maps? Is this still an upgaming game, or is Fury starting to learn the tricks of the trade?
I think Fury would have to clean up a lot of little micro plays that they haven't quite been getting off to try and reverse sweep at this point. And the problem is, even if you start winning goats as Fury right now, you still got that Doomfist Sombra, the Doombra, if you will, that can come out at any point from upgaming. And I don't know if they're ready for that. So I still think it's upgaming taking this series.
For my money, I think Tishazin's Rhine has equaled in maybe the amount of mistakes, but has made more plays overall. And the Reinhardt that takes over the game ends up winning in these mirror matchups.
Well, after the half, it's 2-0 for Upgaming. Will Fury bring that fire? Boop and Katrina, our casters, will tell you how it goes on Hanamura.
Hopefully we'll be bringing that fire. Gaming up 2-0 against Fury right now as we start Hanamura. The gates are open, Katrina. This has been a barn burner.
Yes, for sure. And right now, as we do look at the Upgaming, their defense is once again that tried and true triple tank, triple support composition. But look, Raisin will be playing on that Moira. So we finally do have a difference in compositions. The Moira will provide so much extra healing, but right now I gotta give the edge to the defense with the Discord Orb and all of that extra shield damage coming in from the Zenyatta.
Yet without that Coalescence, Ryzen on that Moira is not going to be hyper effective. The DPS she's able to put out is not going to be as good. Edgicus is going to get Express with a nice whip shot and push Fury back to their spawn. 1 kill is all you need sometimes.
Sometimes, yes, but since Ryzen does have so much more healing potentials than, say, a Zenyatta while he is on that Moira, Fury will still be able to engage quite a little bit. But now as we do look at Ultimate Charge, Ryzen will have a Coalescence. And as those who did see this last match, Coalescence can be quite deadly here in South American Contenders.
Yeah, Moira got a triple kill. It was Olay. Oh, the Earth Shatter, though, is going to be enough to knock the people down. Will they be able to get the kills? Upgaming getting taken pretty low, but not as low as Furious. A couple of them have been sent back to spawn.
Yes, Tishazine has been enabled so well by the rest of his team, and TH7, oh, that you hate to see it there, being able to take out those final members of Fury. But right now, let's take a look at the ultimates right here. TH7 still does, yes, have that Graviton Surge, but Knight will have one of his own shortly. And the biggest difference here I'm seeing is Keith will have an Earth Shatter. Tishazine is nowhere close to his, as it has already been used.
But TH7 and Knight are both going to have their Graviton Surges. Let's see who's going to be able to use those ultimates better. Graviton Surge is going to come out from TH7 first. The Self-Destruct's going to get behind the shield. No kills there, but TH7 and TH7 are going to get 2 for their team. 3. Now there's 4. Hey, guys, I can count. Look at that.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Boop, right now. But as we do look forward, Edgicus has been having phenomenal stuns. Seeing that right there onto Keith not only negated his ability to use that Earth Shatter, it also allowed for AGM to be way more effective with that self-destruct. And Tishazine, oh, just so aggressive on this Reinhardt right now. It is a joy to watch. Right now, watch for the Reinhardt v Reinhardt battles as both have Earth Shatters. Yeah,
Tishazine definitely caught up there. Keith has been stunned. Is the Earth Shatter going to follow? No, but the Earth Shatter from Keith is going to go down. AGM has been knocked down. The pin is there, but no kill so far. And look at this. Upgaming is asserting their dominance right now, pushing them back. Fury can't make any progress, except Knight's going to take in charge here and take Tishazine out. The Earth Shatter at least was taken out. Tiago's going to use that Transcendence to keep the rest of the team alive, but Fury's going to be looking to clean this up. Graviton Surge from TH7. Will the kills be there? Zarya has been taken very, very low. Without Knight, they're going to be much weaker. Furious. Shinigami, though, is going to get the D-Mech on to AGN. Will this be enough? It looks like it might be. Upgaming could be ceding this point. However, they haven't been able to get any progress so far.
Yes, but Fury had to use so many ultimates, and yes, Partel is being a bit of a gnat around the payload right there. But right now, as Fury does go into point B, there isn't a lot of steamrolling potential. Yes, Keith does have that Earthshatter, but to be completely honest, he has been a bit shaky at times. He's been phenomenal with some shatters, getting them completely blocked with others. So as we do look at this defense, though, Shazeen has switched over to the Winston. So going to be able to dive that backline a bit more, but Ryzen on the Moira will have some more sustainability than if he was on his favorite Zenyatta.
Yeah, Shizine is going to be focusing on the supports to keep with that Earthshatter. You know, some, like you said, it can be everything, it could be nothing. He's going to be looking to get everybody here. They're going to go ahead and get behind the point, and Upgaming is going to have to defend from in front at this point. They're actually acting as the attacking team. Upgaming, though, has the self-destruct, and they're getting close to a couple other ultimates, but not as close as Fury. The self-destruct is going to come out from AGM. No kills are there. Daggership's going to be the first one. Tiago will be going down really close to that Transcendence, and it looks like TH7 is going to be picked and isolated onto the low ground. AGM's going to get D-Mech. Nice bubble over the self-destruct to keep the rest of the team alive, but with those takes, Upgaming is looking pretty weak right now. Fury still has all 6 members. The Coalescence is there. Tiago's the last one that could save this. Not for long, as Fury's going to take a quick 2 points on Hanamura.
Yes, ending on a team kill with almost 4 minutes remaining on the clock for Fury, and I have to take back all of my Moira hate right now. I have just been seeing this hero be played to such effectiveness right now, with the Coalescence being able to enable the rest of the team to shine, staying alive through all of those Graviton surges right now. I'm getting a new look at this support hero. I think it's definitely something worth noting. But as Ryzen might be playing the Mercy, we are seeing the full breadth and depth of this player's hero pool. Great choice for the defense, being able to have that Resurrect available. I think we might be finally seeing some anti-goats coming in here, Boop, right now, with Knight and Shinigami teasing the looks of a Widowmaker and Pharah. I love this pick for Hanamura, especially point A defense, as Shinigami will be able to use so many different levels of verticality on this Pharah. Being able to burst down Tishazine's shield will be a key victory condition. I'm also very curious to see how Knight fares on the hit scan. He has been an incredible Zarya. But with Keith going on the Winston, the bubbles won't necessarily be as needed, as Keith has more of a escape mechanism with his jump ability.
Yeah, and what I'm really excited about is seeing how Ryzen's going to take control or walk Shinigami on that leash. The reasoning is they had a support player last year, Win98, who seemed to understand Shinigami's mind like through and through, was able to read it, and now Ryzen's going to be rocking that Mercy. You know, had a little bit of playtime last season, was on that Mercy, but it was in a loss to Revolts, who they're playing pretty much right now. So let's see if we're going to see a repeat in history, but I am excited to see these two characters. Shinigami is a phenomenal Pharah, has done very good things, but has been prone to some bad positioning in the past. Let's see if that's going to be the case. Tiago's going to be rocking that Moira this time around, trying to get that Coalescence. The Amp It Up is there. Pardell was taken low, but this healing was there as well. The rest of Upgaming, you know, they needed to get on this point fast. They were actually able to get one tick right away. Fury doesn't really know how to handle this, as Knight has to get those pot shots first and those headshots. Unable to get a headshot just yet, but now this is a 4v4 on the point. This will be an advantage for those offensive spawns, however. So Upgaming actually looking very good if they're able to maintain, but one thing is for sure, it's going to be hard to maintain without those supports, but the point hasn't been taken just yet. 2 ticks have been down with that D-Mech. Edgigus is going to be the one to try to make things happen. Tiago is on the way back. Pardell is back, and the rest of Fury are back in spawn. Upgaming gonna be able to see point 2.
Yes, and they have a potential for snowballing right now. If Tiago having that Coalescence, AGM once again having been quite successful with those self-destructs, and Tishazine is about to have an Earthshatter right now. We could see a huge advantage coming in for Upgaming for them to solidify.
Alright, the ultimates are all right now. The Valkyrie from Ryzen is gonna try to keep the rest of the team alive, but no! It's gonna be picked off with that self-destruct. We thought Fury's push was fast, but Keith is on the ground, and Upgaming could be even faster. Daggership trying his best to maintain presence on that point. point, but to no avail. Shinigami has switched to Tracer, and that usually shows that it's a desperation play. Knight again on that Doomfist, same thing. They're trying to just get people onto the point. One tick is down, 6 minutes and 24 seconds. That is an eternity right now, especially for Upgaming, as they're looking quite good. TH7 is going to go ahead and throw that Graviton Surge as a zoning one, but Fury is finally trying to make their way back to the point. They do have the bodies. That is taken very low, but a great sound barrier from Pardal is going to keep everyone alive. This self-destruct from Dagashim has to be huge, and it is not, as Dagashim's unable to even get back into the mech, Katrina. Wow, what a push from Upgaming.
That was absolutely beautiful coming in from Upgaming. Such great use of their ultimate economy. They were being very patient, just waiting for that sound barrier at the very end. I know that sometimes we have seen teams be quite aggressive with the sound barrier or panic when you do see that Doomfist on defense, but right here, wow, just great restraint coming in from Pardal. And also the just TH7 being able to use the Graviton, not as necessarily as effective as it could have been, but it did give enough of difference in physics, let's just say, for Keith to fly off of this high ground point of Hanamura point B. So right now, Fury do have their work cut out for them with 6 minutes on the clock for Upgaming. They will be attacking first. So let's see right now what the defense will be running. Yes, it will be that what we have grown to love, that triple tank, triple support composition with Tiago on that Zenyatta. So I'm going to be looking to see if Ryzen can be just as effective. Or we did see that Coalescence coming into play, being able to heal up Keith as much as possible. But I'm even more curious to see if Fury is able to take it to point B. Will Tishazine once again switch over to the Winston? I was a bit curious at that pick. It did not have as much impact as Tishazine most likely wanted, as Ryzen. Oh, Ryzen will indeed be playing the Zenyatta instead of the Moira now. So right now, we could be seeing that switch to Winston if Fury is indeed successful in taking point A.
All right, Upgaming has pretty, Fury actually has the bigger task at hand. As 3 minutes and 24 seconds feels like a lot, but it's not compared to 5 minutes and 59, because that is how numbers work. Tishazine is going to get the first blood of this second round in extra innings, and Upgaming putting up an easy defense. And I want you to look at Tishazine's ultimate charge.
Oh my goodness, Boop. 80% right there. I'm sure that Fury is aware that Tishazine was popping off right now, but how can you predict that he's going to have an Earthshatter once Fury reaches the gates of Hanamura once again? Just to give you context. Oh, wow. Keith is only at 40% right now and has of the entirety of Team Fury.
Yeah, Fury has nothing to deal with this defense. They have to get to those ultimates. They're actually going to be knocked down from that Earthshatter. That's going to be proved to be enough. However, they do have time. It's not like they only have a minute. 2 minutes and 30 seconds is enough to kind of get everyone going. But for the first time, I think all game, Knight struggling to get that Graviton Surge.
Yes, and Ryzen does fall, getting a bit of a stagger, killing even more time for Team Fury. Keith does have an Earthshatter of his own, but Knight, yes, as you were saying, he has been struggling. He has been quite the standout player for Fury, but I feel like more resources have been allocated to keep Keith alive, potentially with Shinigami focusing on this main tank as opposed to the off tank of Knight. So we'll see right now if Knight is able to sustain himself by himself a bit more.
Oh, there's a possible 5 ults coming from Upgaming. The Graviton Surge was enough to get Dagashim out of that mech. And one thing I love that Upgaming just did was they held on to those ultimates. And with a minute and 52 seconds left, they have 5 to work with.
Yes, right now the win condition for Fury is getting a bit more and more closed off. I would even be curious to see if we do see some hero switches eventually. Right now they have just been slamming into this mobile brick wall of Tishazine, who does have, once again, an Earthshatter, but there are support ultimates online for Fury. Those are what you need in your back pocket to deal with such an aggressive Reinhardt.
Yeah, Edge's went ahead and used that rally to give everyone that extra HP, that extra damage mitigation. Fury's going to try to get in there, and an Earthshatter from Tishazine is going to get Dagashim out of the mech most likely. And yes, we do see that right now. Was able to get 3, I believe. Tiago's going to help out with that. Tishazine once again already at 55% on that next ultimate. That means he is doing some work. AGM is the last one on Upgaming. TH7 is going to get an ultimate as well. Fury has been lapped on the ultimate charge twice now, I believe, by Upgaming.
Yes, it has been a bit of a rough push for Fury. However, they can take comfort in that many ultimates, in fact, both support ultimates especially, were used for Upgaming. Although Upgaming still does have that ever-important Graviton and Self-Destruct, Fury does have a couple of tools coming up, especially Earthshatter and a Self-Destruct of their own. Ooh,
oh, the grab from the back line is able to get 4. The damage going to be there. TH7 is trying his darndest to keep taking very, very low. Shinigami will be the first to fall. And finally, for the first time all around, Tishazine is down. This could be the opening that Fury needs. Keith does have that Earth Shatter, and look at the supports coming into play. Ryzen getting those frags in. Both of these Zenyatas are known to be good fraggers. The Keith is going to get the Earth Shatter. The Keith, I like that. Ryzen's going to get the Transcendence up as well, and it is online. Tiago's going to have one of his own, and usually the second Zenyatta with the Transcendence going to keep his team up a little bit better, as proven by Dagshin getting out of that mech and take it down. This is the last fight for Fury. Upgaming is looking to hold here on A, as they have a ton of time on their time bank for the next one. Keith, though, is going to try to get things in his own hand with that Earth Shatter, get 2 kills, but will it be enough? AGM will be taken out of that mech and down and back into spawn. TH7 is going to have another Graviton Surge, what looks like an easy upgaming defense. Katrina. Oh my goodness, we got a double move, my friend. Keith is going to be taken out of this game because of that, and that's going to give Pardell a lot of ult charge to be able to use that sound barrier. Upgaming still with that self-destruct and with that Graviton Surge, looking pretty good so far. They just need to get that focus, and they need that damage. They need to clean this up if they want to maintain their presence on at this point. He still has another Earth Shatter though, Katrina.
Absolutely crazy coming in from Pardell right now. The Graviton Surge, was that Eden right now? And here comes another self-destruct. It is just an ultimate festivity right here.
All right, TH7 though is going to get his counterpart Knight, which is going to prove to be a big deal, I think. Upgaming though working with no ultimates, but Fury's working with no HP right now. Fury getting taken back to spawn, my friends. Upgaming looking very good on this defense. The overtime blink is over. Upgaming holds. Wow, what a last fight, Katrina.
What an absolute incredible Lucio in Pardell, being able to stall on the point for so long, getting that incredible boof onto Keith. I mean, Boop, you'd love to see that right there. That was,
it's in my name.
I know, right? And then with that sound barrier, if it wasn't for Pardell, Fury would have most likely taken all of point A and could have an opportunity to take some of point B. So right here, Pardell is the king of Hanamura right now. I mean, move over Genji, move over Hanzo. You're out. It's Pardell's time to reign right here. But there is so much time for Upgaming to take a single tick of point A. So I'm not surprised that they will be running that triple tank, triple support, high sustain GOATS composition. Fury, though, I am very curious to see what they try to come up with for a 6-minute stall. Just to hold a single tick right now. It's a hard ask, but with they will at least have a resurrection unless Ryzen is the first to fall.
Man, one thing, again, like, the thing about this scoreline that is a little frustrating is this game has been very close in a lot of different aspects, except for, like, this exact moment right now. But they had over 3.5 minutes to hold. All they need to do is hold double that, and Upgaming will end this in a draw. But they have over 2 minutes, I believe, more, 1.5 minutes more of what they would actually start out with on this first point. And Upgaming's got to be walking in here pretty confidently. We've got Tiago onto that Moira this time. I love how they, have the Zenyatas, the Lucios. They've all been switching around for what kind of GOATs they want to rock, and it seems like everyone seems to be favoring on offense this Moira GOATs for this first push.
Yes, and right now we do see a bit more of a mobile defense coming in with Keith on that Winston instead of a Reinhardt to directly counter Tishazine, who has been winning quite a bit of those main tank battles. But look at Tiago, he's already at 60% of Coalescence. Moira's ultimate charges so quickly and has been so deadly in South American Contenders that I'm getting to love this support hero once again.
Well, it takes advantage of Winston's cleave damage. He's able to get ult percentage on everyone that he's cleaving. Tiago's going to have that Coalescence and then get a kill right before Knight's able to get that Graviton Surge. Once Coalescence is ripped, Upgaming's going to be looking pretty good on this point, especially with no Diva available. Hasn't even had to use the Coalescence just yet. Tishazine, we might see that Earth Shatter first. Edgigus will be the first to have that ultimate go out. ATM has self-destruct as well. Ooh, the Earth Shatter is there. And another boot from Pardell, using the Earth Shatter to get Ryzen off of the map. His counterpart. This will be going... Oh, man, we got some tactical crouching from our 16-year-old player. Oh, man, someone's got to talk to his parents.
Yeah, I'm a bit shocked. As a former high school teacher, I would have to have a conference about that. But anyways, as we do move forward, Upgaming has officially won this set 3-0. But as we have been saying, this game has not been a rollover by any means, except for potentially that last part of Hanamura. But right now, oh my goodness, Boop, I'm just loving this match so much. I can see why these two teams are some of your favorites in all of Overwatch. What is it about South American Contenders that just gives you so much joy?
it's just, I don't know. Just when I watch it, right, you just see exactly, like, again, we talk about the passion, we talk about the skill, and this is such a skill-based game, right? But how does that all
Right.
get together? And I think the way that South America puts it all together is my favorite way to watch it so far. And so it's not just these two teams, it's every one of them. And the fact that each team, I think, has the ability to win every single game except against BTH. So it's, it's anyone's matchup at this point. We might see next week Isurus win 2 games or win their game against a very, very good team. I'm not exactly sure who's next for them on the schedule, but especially here in Group B, Katrina, Group B here is tough. So everyone that we've seen today is in Group B, and we're going to see more. Black Dragons looking for Org is going to be next. Looking for Org was second in their group last season. Revolts made semifinals. Breakdown or Fury was able in the quarterfinals to push Isurus, who lost against the Pain Dragons. They all know each other so well, and those are the stories too that I think help South America, develop those storylines and get everyone really excited about them.
And I love to hear all of the personal stories of these players. Just the fact that Edgigus is, it just boggles me that he's only 16 years old. He's in South American Contenders on a phenomenal team and is one of the shining stars of Upgaming so far. It's just to know those little extra tidbits about these players makes this cast so much of a joy to share with you. And right now, as we are going to head over to our 4th map, I'm a bit sad to see this game end right now. Fury and Upgaming, they've been neck and neck.
Well, and I think like the map win-loss differential is very important here, particularly in Group B. So if Fury's not a team that I see just going to back down and just roll over.
I hope not. And although we don't know what this last map will be, I won't be surprised if we do see a little bit of Route 66 going on. And if so, I really do hope that we do see some Sombra play. We do know that Upgaming does enjoy running the Doomfist Sombra composition, so we could see a bit more creativity. Let's just say
allegedly they allegedly like the Doombra. I'm going to use that, Paul. We're going to make that happen. So yeah, exactly. So we're going to see Route 66. So there is some possibilities. I also really want to see Shinigami on that fair just a little bit more. She was changed a little while ago to make her, better with your more accurate. But one thing that we haven't really been seeing a lot of is Mercy because of how good this GOATS meta is. As you guys know, GOATS stands for greatest of all time. And I wonder in like a year or two, we're going to look back at this meta and say, maybe GOATS is the best meta that will ever happen. The strongest team comp that we might see in Overwatch.
Oh, I mean, even though I am a tank main, I have to say I have been missing some of our favorite DPS heroes. So on Route 66, especially if Tishazine does go on to that Winston, I would love to see Shinigami on the Pharah, because not only will that direct hit damage be really effective at wearing down all of these more mobile main tanks, trying to get into the back line a bit more, as there isn't that massive Reinhardt barrier to prevent Shinigami from unleashing fire from above, unleashing justice. So I might be hoping a bit too much. I do have a feeling that we will indeed see our triple tank, triple support compositions. But you know what? A girl can dream, right?
Yeah, exactly. And dreams are good to have, right? If you don't have goals, you'll never achieve them.
Exactly. And even, oh my gosh, even as we do go on to Route 66, I'm just remembering right now that McCree and Ash short. With McCree, apparently he used to be a farmhand, and now he moved on to the Deadlock Gang and then to Blackwatch, and now he's hanging out with some really interesting robot women. So,
what a jerk.
I mean, dreams come true, I suppose. So right now, let's take a look. Oh, I'm so happy right now, Boop. We do have Tishazine on that Wrecking Ball. There's so many opportunities for a Hammond to lash onto different parts of Route 66, since it is such a vertical map with all of these different ledges. I think Tishazine will be able to capitalize on all of those levels, and of course accompanied by TH7 on the Sombra and Edgigus. Oh, thankfully on that Doomfist.
Yep, I am like literally clutching my pearls right now because of Upgaming's team comp. So when I think of Upgaming, I think of this team comp. They brought out that Hammond after that patch last season for playoffs, and completely, I believe it was Black Dragons in that first round, shocked them. they had no idea how to deal with it. There's been a little bit more time now for people to understand what Hammond does, but Tishazine was one of the first people I saw use Hammond effectively, and that proves, I mean, and we talked about Edge against this Doomfist, we've talked about TH7 Sombra, we're finally seeing it.
Yes, finally, and Tiago will be on Ana. This is the first time we have seen this particular hero this entire matchup, so lots of different compositions to break down. I'm very excited, but of course, Fury, they're a bit more traditional, let's just say. They are going to run with Ryzen on that Zenyatta and keeps shielding as the Reinhardt. It might be getting a bit out of place if Tishazine has his way and is able to disrupt the tight-knit Goats composition as we do move forward. Edgegus is just buying his time, trying to be a bit sneaky, waiting for that perfect moment to dive onto Ryzen.
Well, Upgaming is rocking that Doom Draw anti-dive. I like the way that says Paul. Very good work, my friend. Anyway, Hammond's going to go ahead and drop down, use that pile drive, gets almost 50% ult charge off of it. Tiago will be getting that first kill, but this is a 5v5 right now, and another boop kill, I believe, onto Knight. So, man, Pardo is really come into play right now, but Upgaming ahead on this first push.
Yes, they heard you were casting. The boops have been coming out so much on the side of Upgaming. Pardo has been outstanding, but look at the charge of Tishazine's minefield. He's already at 72%. But right now, here comes some charges from Keith. I think he did miss that one. Right now, he's in a bit of a difficult position right now.
All right, let's see who's going to be taking first blood. It looks like Ryzen's going to be the one. Ryzen taken very, very low, but I think that was a 1v1 against TH7. The Edgegus is going to get revenge for his friend with that right fist. And now they're ahead in the numbers game. Edgegus going to get Express as well. We have been saying it all game. I'm so glad we get to see it, Katrina. Edgegus is a good Doomfist.
Oh, he is more than a good Doomfist. He is a stylish Doomfist. He needs to be wearing that tuxedo skin right now because this is just flawless coming in from Edgegus. Right now, also, AGM does have the self-destruct available, and although Fury does not have any check marks currently, they are about to have some vital transcendences, earth shatters, self-destructs of their own, so this is really the chance for Fury to try to bait out a couple of ultimates, force Edgegus to use that Meteor Strike.
Yeah, he's getting taken down because of that. Hammond onto the low ground. Oh, I did see the animation start, but he's going to be able to keep that Earth Shatter. He is very, very lucky about that. But once again, Edgegus getting those kills, got the Meteor Strike in. Tishazine almost close to that proximity mine as well.
And TH7, great use of that EMP right there, allowing Edgegus to thrive using his Meteor Strike, eliminating all of the shielding coming in from Keith. But look right now, Knight is getting closer and closer to that Graviton Surge. That will be so vital against the squishies such as Tiago and Pardo right now. So look for that ultimate to make the biggest difference in this next team fight.
Yeah, all Tishazine needs is a good pile drive, and he'll be right up there with those mines. The self-destruct is available for AGM, but Fury's got a lot more online. Oh my goodness. Edgegus once. You know, there's not a lot to kind of like dive deep into that. That's just kind of one guy doing stuff.
Yeah, my deep analysis there was he hits real hard. He goes to gym. But Edgegus is almost at another Meteor Strike. Oh, what can you even do against this right now coming in from Edgegus? Well, to answer that question, it is most likely to change your composition, Fury. However, they are sticking very close. Hey, Keith heard me. He will be switching over to the Winston, most likely going to be aiming for Tiago on that Ana. It's such an intricate 1v1 battle when you do have your Ana versus your Winston with the sleep dart potential, bubble timing. I really hope that Keith is able to shine on this Winston, ideally with the bubble coming in from Knight. Here it comes!
All right, the Graviton Surge is available for Knight. Edgegus does have that Meteor Strike. He's going to get Keith first. Is he going to knock someone off as well? No, the Meteor Strike is there. Who is it going to take down? Knight's going to be very, very low. He's going to uppercut and try to get... Oh, did he get the boot kill off? Yes, he did. And he's going to get even more ult charge because of that. Just use Meteor Strike. We just saw it on the screen. Is at 80% on that Meteor Strike again.
We are in overtime already, and right now the whip will be going down as Shinigami is defending that payload with that flail as much as he can. However, Edgegus is just shredding through all of these enemies. No amount of armor can stop that Doomfist right now. And once again, I think that he is crouching a bit, doing some squats, getting ready for that Meteor Strike.
You know, part of going down is coming back up again, right? So
yeah. That's what we'll say there.
You know, honestly, I think he gets the squad. I mean, he kind of did just like do a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he practically like that was a Doomfist show. That was I'm going to after this match, I'm going to load up Overwatch. I'm going to get into the training room and just go crazy on bots and still not look anywhere near as effective or as cool as Edgicus. But right now, oh my gosh, that was amazing. But Upgaming is going to be running something a little bit different, hopefully, as their win condition is very clear. They only need to push this payload a short amount of time. They don't even need to reach the first checkpoint of Route 66 to get this 4-0 victory. Fury, I wonder what their defense will be, but right now we're in a very similar position as with Hanamura. There was 6 minutes on bank for Upgaming. There's not much you can really do on the side of Fury except for pray.
Man, Fury's a good team. We've seen them keep it close against
very
Upgaming.
good team. Very good
and
team.
That's how good Edgicus and the rest of Upgaming is at enabling it. We did see a lot of solo plays there and a lot of accuracy, and I know Doofus is strong right now, but to be able to take that much control on that point where you had to know where he was. You know what I mean? Like, there was no opportunity for you to try to focus anyone down, because once you lost focus on Edgicus, you were dead.
Oh, for sure. I don't think I have seen such a dominant play on Doomfist for at least months right now. And Doomfist is such a staple in this meta. Right now, Fury is going to be running with a McCree. Knight on this McCree. I do love this pick, especially to counter TH7 on the Pharah. And to be able to get a flashbang on Edgicus. I mean, Doofus is such a huge target. That will be an instant death penalty for Knight. But also look at AGM. We are seeing a lot more flexibility of these players right now. A Sonic arrow, will give Upgaming all of the information they need. They probably know exactly what composition Fury is already running.
Yeah, Fury has actually ceded a lot of space. They're going to decide to hold on to Big Earls completely. Let's see if there are going to be any kills because the Sonic Arrow only going to reveal Keith, and Edgicus is able to get back to the rest of his team. Let's check those ultimates real quick. Knight pretty close, TH7 pretty close, AGM pretty close. Edgicus not close at all because they've just given him a lot of respect at this point, a lot of space. Pile drive is there. Edgicus will be engaging. It's going to get the kill onto Express. That's not just Edgicus. That was a team play right there. That's some good team communication.
Excellent team communication, great target prioritization as you do lose the Zenyatta and the Lucio, Fury immediately. This game is over. Edgicus once again is celebrating in the only way Doomfist can by some great squats.